Good morning. Welcome to today's Knowledge Bank. This morning's session is going to be hosted by Colin Horton, Managing Director of Hortons Valuers. Colin will be discussing the art of winning business, quoting and building a personal brand in the leasehold sector. If you have any questions, please submit them throughout via the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen, and Colin will try to get through as many as he can. The session is being recorded today and it will be available to watch later today on our YouTube channel, and I will also send the recording out via email. So yeah, without further ado, I will now hand you over to Colin and let him begin. Good morning, Colin.
Hi Vicky, thank you for that. I hope everyone can hear me. Can you hear me all right? Feel good?
Yeah, it all sounds good to me. So any problems, people just put them in the chat and I'll deal with them.
Perfect. Well, hi guys. So thank you for registering to listen to my dulcet tones on this Tuesday morning. Those of you who know me, well, you will know that I'm very passionate about personal brand marketing, somewhat of an egotistical twat when it comes to these things. But I'd like to think today's webinar will give you some takeaway points just to think about. I'm going to try not to make it too boring, because I know sometimes webinars can just be ticking off some CPD, so I'm not going to do that today. Hopefully you'll come away thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to try that, or yeah, I really resonate with that. So without further ado, I'll kind of give you a little bit of background as to why I believe kind of personal brand is such a big thing. Now, when I first came into the leasehold sector, which would have been for about 10 years ago now, it was a sector that I'd never been involved in before, and I came in and no one knew who I was, and I knew that the only thing that I could control in that sector was people's perception of myself. Now, creating a personal brand is not easy. You all have your own personal brand now anyway. Whether you intend it or not, you have your own personal brand, whether that's you are the world's best property manager, or you could be a bit of a crap developer. That's your personal brand. Unfortunately, that's what you have, because you do have one at any given point. You have a personal brand, but you can control how you move it forward and ultimately what you want people to know you as. Now, I'm going to share my screen on, because you don't need to see me. I have got a nice haircut, so I'm quite short, trying to get rid of the greys. But right, so let's hope there's nothing untoward on my share of screens. But yeah, so here we go. So guys, hopefully you can see everything. So Maverick is something that I'm launching soon, which is kind of why it coincides with the personal brand side of things. So for me, a Maverick is somebody that stands out, goes against the status quo, and is prepared to kind of really make a song and dance in their sector. So today we're going to try and help you kind of build the brand in 45 minutes that you've always kind of dreamt of. Bit corny, the journey starts here, but let's kind of run through it. So the first part of it is identifying the personal brand that you want to create. Now, like I said a minute ago, you already have a personal brand. However, certain personal brands will be beneficial for certain aspects of your career. My personal brand will be different to a property manager's or developers or whatever. Now, for me, my personal brand I wanted to create, I wanted to become a bit of a disruptor. That was what I wanted to be. I wanted to be, I don't know, do you know what? It kind of stemmed a little bit from insecurity when I came into the sector, because nobody knew me. I want to be known. And what's the best way to get known? In my opinion, that was by disrupting. Now, there are other ways of getting known, which we'll run through a little bit. But I knew that I wanted to be a disruptor. So when you kind of want to identify the personal brand that you want to create, also, do we like my little head man? He's quite good there, isn't he? And he's really got the guns on show. But what sector do you work in first and foremost? So I like to think we all work in the property management sector here. And it's a sector that it's a tricky one, because we've got various levels of people that we deal with. And like I have good relationships with a lot of the top end kind of MD people, but they're, what they want from a personal brand is completely different to the friends that I have, at the kind of entry level to these sectors. So when we, just assume we are all in property management. So your personal brand has got to be something that's going to ultimately, when you work, make you kind of give you the best kind of persona in that sector and ultimately open doors for you. Now, in the property management sector, especially when it comes to winning business, and it's very much a people sector. So it's very much, I like you, I give you the work. Not saying it's any different to any other sector, but in my opinion, personal brand, being someone that people like and want to work with, is just fundamentally key. There's a lot of people that do the same job, but being the person that they want to have a chat with, want to go for a drink with, want to have lunch with, can have a quick call on the phone, that's the person that you want to be. Now, you have to kind of work out what you would decide, define yourself as professionally. Now, are you going to be a careerist? Are you going to be in that company? Are you going to be a company person where you're going to get to the top of every company that you're at? You're going to work hard. You're going to get an early, leave late. Are you going to be an entrepreneur? Are you going to no, screw this, I'm going to go and do it on my own? Are you going to be someone that helps people? You're going to be someone that's like, oh, speak to John. He's a great guy. He'll be able to help you out. Is that what you're going to be? Or are you going to be someone who's quite controversial, coming out with points? What do you define yourself? These are all kind of, rhetorical questions that I'm not expecting you to know the answer to now, but they're for you to think about. And once you've had that, thought, then you can kind of start to plan after today's kind of initial session, how you kind of wish to grow your personal brand. Now, if I kind of go through how my one is, and then obviously, as you guys know me, it will help to it'll help you understand kind of how I've done it and the kind of thought pattern behind it. So with my personal brand, I class myself as a disruptor. I like to think I'm pretty good at surveying, but I kind of get off on disrupting a little bit. I enjoy it. I actively enjoy it, making a bit of noise, kind of trying to get the best feedback, and ultimately open as many doors for potential sales and leads as possible. Now, one thing I did look at was I looked at people who had kind of a really good kind of personal brand. You kind of got your Elon Musk's, your Gary, can never even say it, Gary B. I looked at people, I was like, I want to get to what they do. And I just love disruptive people, not in the classroom because I want to learn, but just disruptive people in the sector. Now, I knew that I wanted to be known as, I'll be honest, actually, this is where I've come to a little bit of an injunction in my life now, because when I first came in, I wanted to disrupt, but where I've disrupted so much now, there's only so much disruption you can do before you piss everyone off. So I actually want to be known to be the best surveyor that I can be, and to be bloody good at what I do. So by doing that, you really have to change the content of what you put out and the way you deliver that. And that's something that I still learn. I might be preaching, online now, but that's still something that I have to learn every single day. It's like getting that content right, getting that content that I deliver correctly. Do I want to be known as, the world's best leasehold enfranchisement surveyor? Okay, great. How does that look? Let me come off. Let me get you back on camera because I've been quite articulate with the hands. So how does that look when you are putting stuff out on LinkedIn? Now, if we go through some of my posts, and we can actively see, oh God, private DMs, Jesus, kind of stuff that I put out. And then I'm looking back at it, it's actually retrospectively good to go back and see the stuff you put up and say, is that in line with what I want my personal brand to be? Now, I am very guilty of doing knee-jerk kind of statuses and posts where I believe that I've been wronged or pissed off. The awards, for argument's sake, when I thought I'm bloody going to win this, there's no way I'm not going to win this, and I didn't, and I took it like horribly, I don't know, like I just got dumped by my first love, and it was like, oh my God, like, how the hell, what's happened? And I had to kind of carry that in a way that didn't make me look like an incredibly sore loser, and I completely effed it up. I looked like a terribly sore loser, but then what I did do, because I looked back and analysed that I had messed maybe the message up a little bit, that I was trying to, I was basically trying to say, should have won that, but I portrayed it in a way that maybe was unprofessional, but didn't necessarily in line with my personal brand. But then I was thinking, maybe my personal brand, maybe I'm just a bit of a knob. Sorry, Vicky, if I'm being a bit of this 18 rating in terms of language, but that's what was like, is that what I want people to see me as? I'm creating this personal brand of this like arrogant twat. Like, is that actually what I want to be? So now I've really started to kind of shift that by analysing my previous posts and trying to make sure that everything I do aligns with where I want to go, and that is to be a thought leader, the best surveyor in my sector. So when you're looking at your own personal brand, you think, okay, I'm a property manager. I want to be known as a bloody good property manager. Okay, right, fine. So all the posts and content that I put out has to be something along the lines of, you know, showing what people love is case studies, stuff like that. So something that people can relate to, you know, that backs up what you're trying to get them to believe. So let me go back to the share screen, which is here. Okay, okay, this one here. Okay, right, cool. Let me just get this over here. Sorry, guys. Right. Okay. So, one thing is also I do like to get to know from people. Why do you want to build your brand? What is it that you want from growing your personal brand? Why are you here today? Why are you listening to little old me have a chat about personal brand? It's important to write that down. Like, where do you see yourself? What is it? All comes back to what do you want to be known as? But why? Why do you want to be known as that? Why did I want to be a disruptor? Because when I went to the first events I went to, I felt shit, really. I didn't feel great. I felt well out of place. And I was like, if I can create my own brand, then you know I'm in charge. It's me. It's Cole's brand. So make sure you understand why you want to have that personal brand that you think that you want. Okay. Now I'm going to kind of come off this bit and kind of go on to creating a personal brand that kind of open doors to new clients. Now, for me, LinkedIn is a huge platform, and if you're not using it, then you're doing something completely wrong. Okay, it's a platform that we all need to be using day in, day out. Now, this is my personal brand. One, rightly or wrongly, it's a little bit narcissistic, but I'll just kind of show you where you've got opportunity to really grab people straight away. So when you go on, so you've got your profile picture, you've got your banner, you've got your heading. That's the bit people see straight away. Okay, so if you haven't got your banner tight, looking fresh, looking professional, conveying what you do as a company, then you're missing such a valuable bit of advertising space, like huge. So just this week, I think I've had 1.4 million people, 1.4 thousand people look at my profile just this week. Okay, so that advertising space is getting out to 1.4 thousand people, 1,400 people. So it's worth a lot. So make sure that your banner on your LinkedIn is strong. Okay. If you're property management, you know, make it look nice. Always invest. If you are a company owner or you are looking just to, you know, grow your own little personal brand, is to invest a little bit in some design work just to get something looking a little bit snazzy. I actually done that on Canva, so but I quite like design, so that's fine. But that's kind of where straight away that's what you need to get right. Now your profile picture, also very important. I had a couple of professional shots done because I didn't want the standard suit and tie stuff that's so unapproachable. We're not a corporate industry by general, even the most corporate institutions aren't even that corporate. To get a profile picture that suits your personal brand, that's me, handsome devil. It's actually a really great picture. If I was still single, it would do wonders. But you know, you want to make sure you get your profile picture absolutely bang on. So make sure it fits in line. We don't know selfies, we don't know filters. Get your partner to take a photo of you. You can always edit it, whatever. But just make sure your profile picture is strong. That's what people are going to see. Now, the most important bit is the headline. What do you want people to see straight away? Maybe when you message them or DM them, which we'll go into in a sec, straight away. So I won a few awards, and I'm proud of that. I'm very proud of that. And I'm invested in a couple of companies, and I had my podcast. So I want people to know that straight away about me, because that will open doors. Multi-award-winning podcast. Okay, cool. I'll listen to that geezer. He must have something reasonable to say. Now, not everyone's going to have that. I get that. So what you can look at is you can look at stuff like, let me show you a guy who is really, really, really good at what he does. He's called Bannerman. Some people who used him will know him. And he is a really cool guy. So look, this is a great example of personal brand. Okay, so look at his email signature. Now that is absolutely brilliant. I mean, this guy should be doing the podcast, should be doing the webinar, not me. So I mean, he does people's panels for him. Okay, so this straight away, I'm looking at this thinking, okay, I want to stand out from the crowd here. I mean, this guy looks bloody good at what he does, and straight away his heading here, the Pablo Picasso of LinkedIn banners and animated signatures. Okay, cool. That guy straight away, he's got a little bit of BAM, he's got a little bit of personality, and that straight away engages me. So if you don't have anything that's not that awards are worth anything and not the bloody podcast worth anything, but if you're struggling to find something you think is going to make you stand out, then maybe come up with something slightly creative that indicates a little bit of personality straight off the bat. Okay, straight away I think, okay, this guy's got a little bit of BAM, I'm going to drop him a line. So let me go back to my other screen. So that straight away will open doors for you on LinkedIn, but it goes further than that. So it comes in line with your posts. So look at the post that you're putting up, keep them consistent. Don't keep it all the same in terms of professional, or controversial, disruptive. Make sure that you do mix it up. No, hold on. I think I've got a question. So I'm going to quickly just Shane, thank you for your question, my friend. Do you connect with everyone? Yes, I do. I connect because you never know when you are going to need that person. Now, unfortunately, I think I've got, I don't know, 10,000 followers or so. That's all come organically over the years. So I don't ever not accept a connection. What I will do is what's called like a Boolean search, where I will search for people that I think will be beneficial to me. So I will search via, so let me have a look, I'll show an example. So one thing I've done to really help grow the business was I will search, say something along the lines of, okay, I want to speak to asset managers, asset manager and property. And I will see straight away these people here I should connect with because they can potentially be giving me work. So what I'll do is usually I'll just connect, send a little invite. This is just basic stuff. But if I really want to do a really, really, really good intro, what I am doing now is I am going straight to voice notes. So it's a really fascinating way of doing it. It works really well. I don't embarrass the guy. I hope he's not listening. Where I voice noted some of the other guy. I saw him. He worked for Sotheby's, and I want to see if he'd done analytics. I messaged him straight with a voice note, and so no one's ever voice noted me before as an intro. It's brilliant, and now we're going to be working together. So by going straight into a voice note, I know it's not for everyone. But the fact that you're even listening to this webinar shows you've got a bit about you. So you can do this. If I can do it, you can do it. You just go in there, you send a little voice note. So say you're a property manager and there's a developer, just drop them a little voice note to say, hi, it's really great to speak to you. I love this. I love, like, what's important is make sure that you reference me, that you've seen them on LinkedIn. So a very generic connection request is going to get overlooked. I ignore loads because they're not specific. So make sure when you do it, so say this is an example. So I'm going to be a property manager and I'm going to ring up a developer, but I've seen he's put something on LinkedIn. So like, oh, hi Mark, how you doing? I'm really sorry to trouble you, but I hope you don't mind me sending you a voice note. I just wanted to be a little bit different. But I've seen that site you're doing in Surrey, that 24 units, absolutely beautiful. I really do think that we'd be great as managing agents on that block for you. I don't know if you fancy a coffee or a beer or a drink or a lunch. I completely appreciate no one likes a voice note, so feel free to hang up and ignore me. But if you do want to have a touch, do you want to have a touch? Jesus Christ, Carl's a bit forward, isn't it? Not that kind of voice note. But if you do want to get in touch, then please just drop us a line. And that stuff, honestly, it works so well. I've literally just started doing that now for the last month, and it's like a 90% response rate, and obviously works come from it. So do think a little bit outside the box when you doing your opening messages to people on LinkedIn. If you are going straight in with a direct written message, Just make sure it's personable, make sure it's slightly witty. Don't make it too formal, because nobody really wants to work with formal people day in, day out. We need, we're only people at the end of the day. We're not all bankers, but we are people, and we deserve to kind of be spoken to like we're actual people. So when you go into a pitch, just make sure that you speak kind of, be colloquial, speak how you are. Don't try and be something you're not. And just go. And if they don't like that, then screw them. Don't want to work with them anyway. So yeah, so I got a bit passionate then, didn't I? Now, how to win new business and stand out from the crowd. Now, I'm a massive advocate of videos. I think it makes you look like you're prepared to invest in your company. It makes you look like you're not shy. And ultimately, it makes you more personable, because every other bloody website's the same. Every other advert you see on LinkedIn is pretty much the same. This is a great quote, which I'm going to read to you, which one of my good friends sent me last night. So let me, I would say I knew this off the top of my head. No one's dropped out yet, which is really impressive. And I'm really chuffed with that. So thank you, family, for all tuning in. How you doing, Mum? You okay? Right, this quote here it was sent to me by one of my really good friends last night, but it really, really, really kind of rang true with me. And I think it's what you should all aspire to when you kind of think about your personal brands. Okay. So I'm going to read it out. So many times when I meet business owners in person, I find their personality is completely different from the personality displayed in their marketing. Truth be told, most display no personality at all in their marketing because they think they need to look professional. Their marketing is often bland, generic, and if you swapped out their logo and name from their marketing material, it could be anyone else in their sector. It's such a shame, because only if they communicated in their marketing the way they do in person, they'd have so much more success. Now, that for me was really powerful. It's so important to stand out of what you do in your marketing. What you convey to the sector is so important. But I can't stress enough, you need personality. Like everything you've seen that you're kind of, when you start a company and they, like, oh no, we've got to do it this way and that way, and that's like, just F off. You need to be just push the boundaries. Speak to your boss about, ask me for that quote and I'll send it to you. Just make sure that the marketing material you put out stands out. Doesn't isolate anyone, doesn't offend anyone, but makes you stand out, raises a smile. Even like, oh, shouldn't have done that, but I respect him for it. Just that's the one thing I would take from today, anything. Now, let me go back to my share screen. I thought I quite like putting my share screen. It was quite nice. Right, we're back. So I walk back videos. We spend quite a lot of money on videos each year. So make sure you do them. Now, everyone's seen my videos on LinkedIn, so I'm not going to share them on here because nobody needs to see that. It's a bit, self-indulgent, even though I do watch them every single night. Now, Shane, in terms of cover story recording, thank you for another question. You are a lovely class member. What's important is you've got like 30 seconds to get yourself across really, 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 really quickly. I personally think, my opinion is, I think something a bit raw and organic is actually quite nice. Whether that's a little selfie video or something, because it's like, oh God, okay, real, I like that. Not many people are actively doing it at the moment. So you'll definitely be ahead of the crowd. I've actually got one on there yet, because I haven't actually done one. So you made me look really bad, so thanks. But it's your little window. It is your window. And one thing I would say about personal brand is it's very much like dating. Okay. Now, I've recently come off the dating scene. Unfortunately, ladies, so I know I can hear 1,000 hearts break. Not 1,000, maybe like 6. But it's so important that you treat kind of them very similar, because they are so aligned. So when you create a dating profile, that dating profile is there to win you a date. So you have 10 seconds or whatever it is to convince that person to swipe right or message you. And there's no reason why your personal brand should be any different. You want to look good. You want that person to want to interact with you. You want to look friendly. You want to look approachable. You want to look successful. There is nothing different dating to personal brand. It's exactly the same. Obviously, what you do on your networking meetings and your dates should be different. They might not be different, depends how far you want to take your personal brand and networking. But that's just something to bear in mind. Okay. Now, the next bit is quoting, the important one. I love quoting. It's, I don't know, I just get a real buzz. I'm a salesman at heart. I really wish I'd kind of done seasoning in like Cabos. What holiday that was, 2008. But I just love it. I love sales, and I think having people in your team that are good at sales is so important. If you don't particularly like sales, whilst you can do training, I recommend getting someone that maybe is, if you're a business owner, is to get someone that is good at sales into your firm, because it's so important. You can train and learn to be better at sales, but it's a natural and it's a confidence thing. Okay, so this is kind of an example of a quote that we sent. She's Sean, he instructed us last week. So what we do is I always give him a call first. So that's where I'll convert him pretty much on the phone anyway. I don't want to tell him that price on the phone because I don't want to lose him. Okay, so I want to speak to him on the phone. I want to get to know him. I'm just going to go back and forth just quick on the slides here, because it's using the soft skills that we all take for granted that are so important when you're quoting. Like, they are so important. Now, empathy is my thing. If anything, I'm too empathetic sometimes. It's some say pathetic, but I like the empathetic side of things. I do get quite emotionally involved with cases. But it's very important. So when the client comes up, listen to them, ask them what their problem is, and a very important thing straight off the bat is try and make them smile or laugh within 10 seconds of that phone call. Okay. So, I do that with a bit of humility. So that is how I will tend to strike a relationship straight away with that person within 10 to 12 seconds. So, hi Mark, it's Colin from Hortons Valuers. It's a bit of a rubbish name, Colin. So I am sorry about that. And then that'll get a bit of humility straight away. They're on your side and they feel like, oh, okay, I can have a chat with this guy. Okay. So it's so important to display really good soft skills, okay, when you're going through this. So we'll go through. You've got empathy, emotional intelligence. So that's just reacting to a scenario. So say someone's sitting at home because someone's died, react to that, acknowledge it, and kind of sympathize, resonate if you can, because it sounds really callous, Machiavellian, but you have to get them on your side. You have to use everything that's available to you at that point. Okay. Now, curiosity and positivity. So it's asking questions about what they do. People like, don't gauge the type of person it is, but ask them some questions. How long you're at the house? I love what you've done there. How did you do that? Blah, 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 blah. And then just be really positive. It's like how and love. Okay. I just kind of made that up, but it kind of fits quite nicely. And just actively keep listening, and repeat their name throughout the phone call. Really, 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 really important. So that goes back to my call center days, but we're always told to say the name 5 times in that phone call. Start doing it and you'll notice a real uptake in engagement from your phone calls. So, hi, Sean. Yeah, Sean, I completely understand. So, Sean, what I'm going to do, and to keep saying that, and it just shows, 1, that you're listening, and 2, that you're engaged with that phone call. Now, communication skills are kind of very much in line with kind of relationship building. Relationship building is my thing. I just love getting to know that person. And it goes back to dating. That, a quote call is no different to a first date or a first phone call. I want them to go on a second date with me. I want them to like me. I want them to see a future with me. So yeah, I'm going to try and charm the hell out of them if I can. Okay, so maybe this is like dating advice. Maybe this is all wrong. I should be doing dating advice, but it's fundamentally, you want to get them to come on a second date with you. So you want to put over the very best version of yourself in a very short amount of time. Okay, it's really, really important. I'll skim over some of these, but courage to make recommendations. So if you can't do the job, people appreciate it if you're just bloody honest. Now, salespeople and business owners will have a habit of just taking work on because they see the fee and will work out how to do it later. I am very guilty of that, but in my personal opinion, you want to, don't oversell yourself. If you can't do it, just say you can't do it and recommend someone else, or that will all come back and it will ultimately just make you look better, and it will come back to you for something else down the line. Now, back to I kind of skipped one, didn't I? Back to quoting. So when you've kind of done that quote, you've got to follow that quote up really quickly. Don't leave it 1, 2, 3 days because your quote's hot. They're going to get another quote. You want to go straight in there. So our quotes, how we structure ours is we don't overdo it with what we do it. So we kind of give them straight away. We give them a nice bit of, you know, positive loveness straight away to say, no, we want to help you. You know, it's great to speak to you. And then what we give them, which we give them kind of 2 videos. So we actually give them 2 videos to have a look at. And I'll show you a little bit how it works. So inbox, God, I am a little bit behind. Sorry, Vicky, ignore this. I'm just going to put this over here. Right, okay, so spare me 2 seconds, guys. Just not going to talk amongst yourselves. But with the quote itself, so I'll show you the journey that the customer gets, okay, from the quotes. So here is one. Sean. Okay, cool. So let's bring Sean's quote over here. Yeah, that. Sean's quote. Oh, Sean. Sorry, guys, it's highly unprofessional of me. It's not my. Well, it's not actually my first rodeo either, which is embarrassing. Okay, so where's Sean? Right, so Sean's quote's here. Okay, so this is what he gets. He gets a little leasehold guide. So great to speak to you. I'd love to help you. I appreciate it's complicated to attach the leasehold guide. So they get a little guide, and all that is just a little guide that we've made for them. Okay, that just explains everything. So straight away, I've given them something. So they're going to feel, oh, okay, slightly obligated to work with me straight away because I've given them something. Okay. And then, oh God, what have I done here? Oh, that's embarrassing. Oh. Right, get my email back up. Okay, and we have a little video here. So they'll click on the video and it goes through to this. Okay, so this is just me being a twat, walking around London.
This is something no one wants to think about.
But what it does is straight away, they're like, oh, okay, these guys look really professional. Okay, so that's one thing to consider. So have maybe a little quote video, something that goes with your quotes. And what we have a little video here that explains the quotes for people. Because what it also does, it saves time in the long run. So it stops people you asking lots of questions down the line. So they'll click on this, same thing again. It's a little 2-minute quote just of me chatting. I don't know if you can hear this.
Thank you so much for getting in touch and asking.
And there I am. My hair looks like an ice gem. But yes, so that is just a couple of little tips on the quote side, because I really think that helps. Now, we break it down quite simple. We don't overdo it. We don't make things look too complicated. Give them the prices and then bang, hit them with the CV. Tell them why they should go with you. Because straight away, they've just got the price, and you know things are worth what if people think the price is less than the value, then they're going to get out of it. They'll go with you 100%. Okay, so I'm trying to give them now my CV and think, okay, this guy's the bollocks. I want to work with that guy. And straight away they're like, oh, okay, wonderful. And then boom, that's a new lead. That's a new instruction. Oh, can I see you an email, Brandon? Sorry, guys. Let me put a little link for you. Bear me 2 seconds, and I'll put a little link in there for you so you can see it. Here you go. So you don't have a look at that now. Maybe have a little look later on. And there's another one here, which is this one. Okay, so this is the same for you to look at later on. Hopefully that helps. But yeah, so that's the art of quoting. Basically, it's just like just to close that part of it off. So I do go off on a little bit of a tangent because that's just how my brain works. But just make sure that you get them on the phone first. Do as I told you. Use your soft skills. Your personal brand will be carried through when you're doing your quote because you will be coming through as your personality. So you want to make sure you sell yourself. You want to get that second date, remember? It's all about getting that second date. And then follow it up with the quote. So you've had your first date, it went really bloody well. Just send her a little text. I really enjoyed tonight. Should we go on another date? Bang, there you go. You've got another date. There you go, you're getting married, loads of money, bish, bash, bosh. And if you keep your personal brand consistent, then you won't get what's it called? You know, you won't get divorced. You know, so keep really strong. So Are people not getting the link, by the way? Can anyone just say that I put the link in the chat? No one's getting it. Okay, Vicky, are you able to? Can you do that? Is that not there? Chat Q&A.
It might have been because my connection dropped out for a moment, Colin. So I don't know. That might be why the link didn't go through, because I haven't received it either.
You're not getting that?
Yeah, I can see it now, sir.
Okay, cool. Okay,
yeah,
fine.
I'll reshare it now.
Thank you. So that's all. I'll just copy that one as well. So I hope you'll get that as well. So have a look at that later, and I'm more than happy to, you know, if anyone's got any messages, but I'm more than happy to have a little chat with you about how we do it and what we do on that front. Now back to pitching, which is to kind of bring this kind of presentation to an end, but it's really important. Is, you know, I've kind of touched on it throughout the webinar today, but getting that pitch right is just, was hard. You know, I've messed up a few. I've won a few. I mean, I'm lucky that we won a few kind of institutional ones, which are hard, really hard. But you've got to really kind of focus on getting that message across and knowing who your, you know, client is at the end. Like how are we going to impress them? So generally, when you're pitching as a property manager, you're probably going to be pitching to residents. So you need to kind of look at the block, look at the type of people you're dealing with, and prepare a pitch that's going to make ultimately suit them. Now, we're all guilty. We can all be quite lazy of having standard pitches, and that's kind of what we work towards. That's not the right way of doing it. You need to look, if you want the ultimate success, you need to look at who you're pitching to, look at the key figures, the key decision makers, appeal to them people, and ultimately you should be successful. Now, we're in, you know, a little bit of inside info. We're actually actively in discussions with maybe looking at, you know, doing a part investment, part sale of Horton. So we've had to recently prepare an investment deck. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll show you kind of a little bit of kind of what we're looking at the moment. So an investment deck is basically a pack that you put forward prior to going to do a pitch, but what it does do, it allows the prospective buyer investor to see what's on offer in headline terms, and then when you go for the pitch, bang. Okay, so this is just some of the stuff that you can kind of look to include. You want to make sure that you really important that you sell the dream to that person, because a lot of value will sometimes come in what's the after sale. So once, you know, you'll get an initial agreement, but it's the consistency of that relationship moving forward. Big headline terms, key terms that come through. I don't know if you can see it. I don't think I've shared the right screen, have I? Classic, Carl. I'm not doing this properly, am I? Sorry, Vic. I should be more professional. Anyone's what's that? Oh, that's here. Can anyone still? Can you still hear me, Vic? Okay.
Yeah, still hear you, but your screen's no longer shared, so I think you just need to.
Oh, cool. Sorry, I was just getting used to this. Right. So this is part of the deck that we're putting forward at the moment. Okay. So we kind of went big, key, come a disruptor. That's my brand. My personal brand is consistent, disruptive. Okay, so completely changing the perception of everything valuation should be. Big, strong terms. Okay, cool. Okay, I've got this guy's attention. How is he going to possibly back it up? Change the guard, be part of it. Okay, so it's keeping that disruptive undertone. That's my personal brand. But at the same time, you know, I'm still trying to be corporate-ish because I'm trying to get some money out of people. And then we hit them headline figures. So why am I good? Why should you give me money? Why should you instruct me as a, you know, business? And then, you know, kind of keep it simple. And like straight away, okay, fine. It goes back again to this dating analogy. Like, why would I want to date that person? Okay, cool. Okay, drives, doesn't smoke. Oh, okay, works out. He's got his own place. Boom. Then my headline figures. They're going to keep reading, and they're going to swipe right, and they're going to swipe right, and then boom, you're about to go on a date. And that is how. The more I think about it, the personal, you know, the dating analogy is perfect for personal brand. So it's so strong that when you are pitching, just don't not make it personal. Don't be something that you're not. Okay, so you know, you might pitch for a company and that straight away that relationship which will not work because it's not you, it's not authentic. It has to be an authentic pitch. It has to be you. If it's not you, one, you're not being true to yourself, and two, you know, ultimately the relationship is just going to break down. Okay, and I'm trying to think of the third, don't, but I mean, don't worry if you F it up, because I got so nervous the first, I was literally shaking. Like I was shaking. I've never shaken. I was so nervous. I was pitching to Aviva, And I was so scared. Like, bear in mind, these people probably paid the same, if not less than me, you know, if they're employed. And I was a company owner, and I was looking at these guys. Oh my god! Like, I felt like little baby Simba looking at, like, I don't know, like a big lion. And I didn't know what was going on, and I was just so nervous. So, you know, whilst kind of give you some tips and stuff. I've gone through it all. So everything I'm telling you is what I've gone through myself personally. And I've learned lessons. We didn't actually get there bit by bit. Why? Because I lost who I was. I lost my integrity as a, you know, disruptor. I went in there as corporate Cole, and I'm just like, pardon my French, but I ain't fucking corporate. You know, I swear I've got a potty mouth. You know, I'm from Essex. That's not how I am. But I've refined that now. So I now know that you can do a bit of both. Okay. But it's ever so important to stay authentic when you are pitching. Be humble, be empathetic, use the soft skills. Like I said, try and hit that relationship straight away in 10 to 12 seconds. You've got to go in there, try and make them laugh, try and make them smile, make them feel at ease, make them think they're not going to be sitting there. Because they're probably going to gain anything. I've got half hour, I've got to listen to this guy dribble on, just want to know the cost. But if you make that half hour pitch engaging, then you're going to have a much better success rate coming out of it. Now, I've got a couple of questions here. So Jodie, thank you for your question. So I love the concept of creating a personal brand, but as a growing business, I struggle to do it all as everyone wants to deal with me. Can you recommend how politely advise clients that we have other team members who can help? I want to help everyone, but it just can't be done. Your thoughts are welcome. Well, this is very apt for me, Jodie, because I'm the tit that named the company after himself. And everyone wants to speak to you. Now, what's important and how I try to manage this as much as I can is we kind of create an account manager role. Now, it's easier said than done, but initially it was quite simply shifting my PA to an account manager and giving the perception they have an account manager. So what that does do is it deflects to a degree. Okay, so people come in and say, oh yeah, we've got your personal account manager. Colin's actually out on site, but we can arrange a call. Now, there's an app called Calendly, which I use, which is really good. And it allows you at the start of the week. So I'll show you kind of, I don't know if I can log in. It's usually my PA does it all for me, but I will try. And what it does, it allows you to space out your own diary. And it allows people to kind of book you calls, but only on your, oh God, it doesn't matter. I'll show you later, Jay. But it's just basically creating a specialness about you as well. Don't want to celebritize yourself, but I know how hard it is to kind of take yourself away from your client because you want to speak to them all the time, but unfortunately you can't because you're trying to run a business. But if you create, celebritize yourself in your business, say, okay, whoever else is in the company that can help and guide that conversation, then they will say, okay, well, Jodie's actually out on site at the moment. She's really, really busy at the moment. We can arrange a call for you with her. Arrange a call, okay, fine. But the account manager element, that little bit in the middle, will still make them feel special. So your account manager will use all the soft skills that we spoke about, and whether that's your PA or what, but it's just framing that a little bit better, because you don't want them to feel like you haven't got time to speak to them. That's not what we're trying to, get across. Or she's trying to delegate the work. So how I see a typical phone call going would be they ring up, hello, it's Jodie management company here. Please can I speak to Jodie? No, she's currently away from the office at the moment. However, let me pass you over to her account manager who should be able to help. We'll go over to the account manager. And the account manager, oh, hi guys, how's it doing? How's everything? How's the site? I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. Jodie's not back until tomorrow. I can arrange a call with her tomorrow for you if you want to pick a time. However, why don't you try speaking to one of our other property managers? Because Jodie's actually already briefed them on this case the other day in our team meeting. And she's kind of told them to look after you. So if you give them a quick call, they'll be able to help you. And straight away, they kind of feel special. Yeah, they haven't quite got you. They're going to be a little disappointed they can't chat to you. But they kind of it looks as though you've actually already spoke about them to somebody else. And they're like, oh God, they're actually speaking about us. So God, they're thinking about us. We do actually feel a little bit more special. And hopefully that will help you kind of get past that. But it is tricky because I still struggle with that today. And I think all of us kind of entrepreneurs in smaller companies will feel the same way. So it's a great question. So thank you for asking. I hope that's helped. Easier said than done, but I hope that has helped. But guys, that is it from little old me. I'm always be around to talk about personal branding. I'm actually launching a personal brand, marketing consultancy called Maverick, which is on the branding. So I'll be there to help. You just got loads of free advice. Probably don't need it anymore, but always there to assist and to help grow. And I love marketing, so do keep an eye on what we're doing on LinkedIn. Do touch base. And I will do everything I can to help you grow because I just love it. I'm savvy. I get really into it. So yeah, any questions before I go, just ask. I think that is it.
Thanks, Colin. That was really good. I've got a lot of advice on personal branding and dating.
Yeah.
Like a mixture of the two. Yeah, thanks for everyone for joining us today. I will send out a copy of the recording of the session this afternoon. I'll also put Colin's contact details on there, so if anyone wants to follow up with you directly, they can do that. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you again soon for our next webinar. Take a look on the News on the Block website for the next sessions that are coming up. Otherwise, thanks so much, Colin, and hopefully we'll have you on again soon.
No worries. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. Sorry I swore.
Right.
Didn't mean to.
That's fine. I think if they joined, then they know you.
Yeah, if they don't know me.
They do now.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
No worries. Bye.
Bye.